Weeby Marketing.
Lawson sends it out to left center field. This ball's hit pretty well. It's traveling, and it's going to get out of here.
Swinging a fly ball, right field. Guess what? It is a grand salami.
And that is launched. And it's gone past the video board.
It's time for On Deck.
The Gators have their biggest inning in over a decade.
So here comes the payoff pitch from Barberi. And did he go? Yes, he did. Strikeout number 16 for the Gators. And Florida does, in fact, get the shutout.
On Deck is shining because of our title sponsor, International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of Florida Gators baseball.
Jocelyn Erickson, welcome to the 200 Club.
And brought to you in part by Titan MRI and Imaging, Meldon Law, Silverback Concrete, Campus USA Credit Union, B&D Electric, Quality Plumbing, Atlantic Roofing, Castaway Hot Sauce, Coke Zero, Holiday Inn University Center, International Gold and Watch Exchange, Miapa Latin Cafe, Ruse Ogra State Farm, and by Spurrier's Gridiron Grill.
Alongside Jeff Cardozo, here's Steve Russell.
Welcome into this week's On Deck show. Giselle is producing it, and alongside my broadcast partner, Jeff Cardozo, we broadcast from the International Diamond Center studios. International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. We'll talk about all things Gator baseball, softball, SEC, maybe even some MLB as well. Our phone and text line questions brought to you by Titan MRI and Imaging. 3 locations to scan you better. Facebook Live questions brought to you by Meldon Law, the only official injury and accident law firm partner of the Florida Gators. And our YouTube questions, courtesy of Silverback Concrete. You stand on it. We stand by it. Boy, Jeff, I when Jeff walked in, I said to him, dude, I thought about you guys because I just happened to have this weekend off. I mean, luckily it was a winning weekend for Florida, but my gosh, what a long weekend.
Yeah, obviously you get that at times, but the crazy part is, you were, complaining about the yard and it hadn't rained in months and you're wanting rain and all this other stuff, and I think we all felt the same way, especially with the fires in town and everything that's going on. It's like you need the rain, but it's just like baseball's an outside sport, and we've been through it a whole bunch of different times. Yeah, I think Friday you knew it was going to get there. I think the Saturday one was the hard one because it's 4 o'clock, and then they say, okay, well, it looks like it's going to be okay. We'll go about 4:45, and then they're getting ready for the field, and everything's good. And then about 15 minutes before that, they decide to put the tarp back on because more rain all of a sudden popped up, and then it just kept lingering. And then, you don't go till now, 8 o'clock, and it was supposed to start at 4 o'clock, so 7 hours worth of delays. And, I mean, Florida came out flat, I think, in both of those delays. They came out much better on Sunday. And a lot of that's because of the starting pitching and how good they are and those types of things. But, yeah, give them credit. They battled through it. Obviously, the comeback on Friday night was huge, especially because of what happened to them last Friday in Oklahoma and blowing that. So those kind of even themselves out. And, yeah, I mean, now you're in a great position to host a regional. And I'm still not sure if they can do enough now because LSU is so crappy that they can get a super regional to move up that high. But either way, you should be home for that first weekend, and we'll see what happens.
Did Kentucky do anything to
No, they were actually pretty good. Although, I mean, Barron plays the calls and some of the highlights, and he ends up playing a defensive play, and it was like a double into the right center field gap. And Sear goes and gets it, and then they fire it into Curlin, and Curlin, the guy tried to stretch it into a triple. And it was a bang-bang play. Surwick applies the tag, and, great tag, so they end up getting him out. So the call is, there's, blah, 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 and here's the throw from Curlin, and, they got him. Surwick applies the tag, and Mingione starts crying. Like, that was a part of the call, and I didn't even realize I said it as, it was going on. So he plays back. So I just start, cracking up in the postgame because
so he included that.
Yeah, because he included that, and that's just – but that's what Mingione does. I think at least there was a point where there was not huge antics, but it's just – it's who he is, and I think you start to understand that. And, I mean, they play a style, and obviously they're good. Their just pitching is awful, and Florida was able to take advantage of it.
That's what's – because offensively they're pretty good.
Yeah, they were really good.
All right, we got some comments here on YouTube. I think it's Scott How about McDonald going all cags on Kentucky? Do you think that performance would get him SEC Player of the Week? It didn't.
Yeah, and it didn't last week either, because it wasn't like a huge offensive weekend the entire time, and they don't really factor in both, which is kind of crazy. It's if they had a utility person, then obviously he would get it every week, at least these last couple, but there's other guys that have had better total offensive performances, and obviously when you're pitching once in relief, you're not going to get it. But it's pretty special. I mean, Kentucky was hitting Sandifer around, didn't look good, and all of a sudden he comes in and throws 4 1/3 innings, didn't allow a hit. And the only runner that got on base was a ball that Serwick booted. It was a little routine ground ball, and he just didn't make a nice play on it. So he was outstanding, and that allowed you to then – like Barberry started warming up. So they were probably going to go to him in the 8th, and that was the thought. But then we scored a couple more, and McDonald was pitching so well. It was like, hey, let's just go one more inning and save Barberry for another week, which is probably only going to help him.
And this is interesting because Mike emails here. How in the world has McDonald been on the bench most of the season? A huge misjudgment of talent by coach. I'd much rather see Caden start a game than Peterson.
Oh, no, you can't. That's not even close. Like, Peterson's a first-rounder, and you can't have a talented dude like that sitting on the bench. And McDonald was never – like wowing you, and he didn't ever wow them in the fall or the spring. And again, the guy's throwing 91, 92 miles an hour, and you look at back even some of the games that he's thrown. I mean, it's a run here, run there, but it's only in a couple of innings. So who's not to say that? He's never thrown longer than 4 1/3 like he did yesterday.
Right.
So you don't have a guy in there that's normally used to throwing a couple of innings, maybe 3 max, and still giving up 2 runs at a time, then all of a sudden say it's a misevaluation and he should be starting. I don't think that was ever really a factor.
Team of the Week brought to you by B&D Electric, your home's electrical system always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver every time. Don't foul out. Schedule today at www.bdelectric.com. Team of the Week.
It's a pretty easy one for me this week. It's West Virginia, and they're a team that is now 35-12 overall. They're 19-8 in the Big 12, so a lot of their losses in the Big 12. But remember, we were hyping up Kansas on this show a week ago, and they went into Lawrence and beat them 3 times. Ooh. So Kansas now probably drops out of being a top 8 national seed, so somebody else is happy about that. Beat them 4-1, 5-2, and 13-2. And that was one of the projections a couple of weeks ago where West Virginia was coming here as the 2 seed.
Yes.
And I didn't like that because they've got a stud on the mound.
They do.
Their Friday night guy is a lefty that's really, really tough to beat and barely ever gives up runs. And it's similar when we talk about softball in a little bit, I'm sure, what they have to deal with. So I think you got to give them a lot of credit. I mean, West Virginia is now probably in consideration to, certainly host a regional, and when they weren't before. And I mean, I don't know what they finish like, or maybe if they go win their conference tournament to be good enough. But yeah, if you look at their RPI against teams in the top 25, they're now 8-4, and they have an RBI of 18. So West Virginia is a school you don't really ever think about of being pretty good at baseball, but they've had a nice year.
I hate to do this, but you have to give credit where it's due.
Yeah.
Georgia.
Sure.
They've won the league without having to play the final weekend.
Yeah.
You don't often see that. Normally it comes right down to the final weekend. Give them a lot of credit.
And they were picked 9th before the season started.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. And we'll run through that in a little bit because I think it'd be fun to see
go back and look
the experts and that's why I can't stand preseason polls. And I know it's good for our radio shows and things like that. It gives somebody stuff to talk about, but I mean, more often than not, people are wrong. They have no idea. They don't study it enough to understand that, hey, like if you're a national person, you're not diving deep into West Virginia or Tulane, like all the. So I find preseason polls crap. I hate them. And, again, this is another example of why I don't.
Daryl, good luck to Buchholz in baseball. Clay made it to the Final Four. They have to play Jesuit.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Yeah, congrats to Chris Malfers and Buchholz. And they had to go up to Pace because Pace was a 1 seed, Buchholz was a 2 seed, and they throttled them. And they've always been able to pitch. Buchholz's been really good pitching this year. They haven't been able to hit all that much, and they scored 10 runs in both games. And now the crazy part is they go to the Final Four. They'll play Friday at 10 a.m., and they are playing Martin County High School, which was my rival high school growing up. So I can't stand Martin County. And now, of course, I want Buchholz to just beat their brains in.
And then Jim says, very intrigued about the electronic pitch monitor coming up for the SEC tournament. How are the tolerances being calculated for corners of the plate and the change of knees to armpits with each individual batter?
Yeah, so that's the crazy part is in Major League Baseball, they have actually measured every major leaguer.
Yeah.
And they have that exact, knees.
I didn't know that till I read that.
Yeah.
I did. I was not
so
aware
they do
of
it
that.
every game.
Yes.
But, you wouldn't think people are going to shrink at that age or, grow taller or what. But, yeah, so it's like they have to be to the park just to get measured for the ABS.
Didn't know that.
And that's not going to happen at Hoover. That's just impossible to do. So they're going to be using, basically a system where it's the same box for everybody. So whether you're 6'6" or you're 5'6". So I think that's where it's going to be interesting because the umpires, have their zone of where they are, but it's going to be a little bit different now of what ABS is going to be able to find out. And, it's funny because as you sit there and, you think about it, we asked, and it was like, hey, and this is, Slater saying this, are there any guys that you're going to basically allow to make their own decisions on this ABS? Or are you going to be the ones challenging it? Like, how's it going to work? And he says, yeah, everybody's going to be pretty good except for Sear. He thinks it's a ball every time, so we're not going to allow him to waste all of our challenges. So I thought that was pretty funny.
That is pretty good. Porter, hello.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. A quick comment about the Buchholz. It's funny because you were getting rain delayed at Condren, and I was texting back and forth with Pete because his boys on Buchholz, and they were getting rain delayed. They're supposed to start at 5 and end up starting at 9. And thankfully, both games went the right way. And then I texted him, so I guess the second game's postponed until tomorrow. He said, no, they're getting ready to start. So they didn't start that second game till almost 1 a.m. here, I guess midnight there. But
yeah, it finished at 2:38 in the morning.
We worked fine. What do you think about it's 2 out of 3 like it should be, and now they're going to the Final Four. It's not a 2 out of 3. It's a single game elimination. So it's a 2-day between the Final Four. What do you think of that? It seems kind of odd.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I mean, I guess it's technically how a super regional and then you go to the World Series is, where you're just playing a team once. I know it's double elimination there, so you have a little more leeway. But I think the hard part is there's some high schools over the years you imagine Paul Skeens or a guy like that that's facing now a team that guy should win every single game, but they may not have 2 other good pitchers. So I like it as a series where at least you have the opportunity. If you have one stud like that and you're not going to beat him, you can still win the other 2 games because you might have more depth on the mound than the other team.
Exactly. I mean, remember was the Gulf Coast, Chris Sale?
Sure.
I was like, okay, yeah, you don't want to face that guy.
Yep.
But yeah, it just seemed kind of odd to me, but glad it worked out. Hey, quick question: I was glad to see Curlin and Lawson getting their bat squared away. To me, even their outs were good, and Ethan seems more comfortable at third. I took those positives out of the weekend. I'll take your comments. Go Gators. Be safe. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, Curlin's still struggling. He obviously hit the home run, but he struck out I think 11 times his last 25 at bats, somewhere in there. So he still hasn't necessarily found it. But yeah, I mean, you needed Lawson to come through, and he's certainly digging in a big way.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. More of the On Deck Show to come. You're listening right here on WRUF.
Gator baseball is in full swing, and the road to Omaha runs through WRUF. WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jeremy St. Louis. Florida baseball recorded their 14th comeback win of the season with a 9-6 win over Kentucky on Sunday. Gators were powered once again by emerging two-way star Caden McDonald, who did it at the plate and on the mound. Head coach Kevin O'Sullivan was singing his praises afterwards.
Man, I can't say enough about his performance. I mean, guy goes 4 1/3 to the hit, settles things down, hits a home run, a key home run. Him and Yosti hit key home runs there. I think everybody in the lineup got a hit today.
Florida closes out the regular season starting Thursday with a 3-game series against LSU in Baton Rouge. Florida women's golf are on the course in Tallahassee as they finish round 1 of their regional event. The 3-seed Gators, part of 14 teams taking on Seminole Legacy Golf Club this week. Gators with a 2-shot lead as a team as they finish up round 1. Top 5 teams and players all advance to the Natties in Carlsbad, California.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
It's never fun being injured, and with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news, you don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away, and they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable. And when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
On Deck with Steve Russell and Jeff Cardozo continues right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Don't settle for a knockoff diamond when you can get the best diamonds at the best prices from International Diamond Center. For quality, selection, and value, International Diamond Center is the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. Welcome back to the On Deck Show. Steve and Jeff with you here. Jeff, let's go ahead and do our Relief Pitcher of the Week, brought to you by Castaway Hot Sauce. Hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar. Built by Gators for Gators. Castaway Hot Sauce available at select public supermarkets.
We give it to the Georgia Tech closer. His name is Mason Patel, grad student, and he's just been lights out. I mean, you talk about just efficiency. Only 8 walks. He's only given up 8 runs all year. You look at the strikeouts, well above 30. Same with the innings pitched, and it's just one of those guys at the end of the game. That's why Georgia Tech is as good as it is, because he's been able to go out there and just shove at the end of the games, and it makes all the difference in the world to be able to do that. And it was nice to see Gators closer Joshua Reitner bounce back too. He gave up a homer to the first inning. You're like, uh-oh, here we go again. But he settled down nicely and got the final 3 outs to finish it up.
All right, let's do our top 4 teams, brought to you by Coke Zero. The new and improved recipe tastes like real Coca-Cola with 0 sugar and 0 calories. Top 4.
It's the same 3, and I think you have to now probably say Georgia's better than Texas. In the last couple of weeks, we've kind of wondered, is it Georgia, is it Texas, is it maybe Auburn sneaking in there? But UCLA, North Carolina, Georgia Tech, still 3 teams that don't even have 10 losses on the year yet. They're going to be, probably when it's all said and done, your top 3 national seeds. But I'm anxious to see, because North Carolina, Georgia Tech, of course, in the ACC. I mean, Florida State's in there. Well, I mean, Florida State might be a 5 seed in their own conference tournament, yet they're talking about potentially being a top 8 national seed. The ACC is just not very good. And I think when it's all said and done, that's going to be the big question of what the deciding factor is in all these types of things. I'm sure those, because of resumes and just because of the wins and losses alone, there'll be several ACC schools, but I wouldn't be scared if Florida was paired up in a super regional with like North Carolina or something like that. I said, bring it on. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's funny you said that, because I thought at the beginning of the year, Jeff, and it may still be, that I thought the ACC had the second best league in baseball, because there were a lot of teams in the top 25 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
D1 Baseball's poll, Carolina 2, Georgia Tech 3, and Florida State's at the top, I think, 11. But Clemson's having a down year. There's a lot of teams, Louisville, that have been good that are having down years in the ACC. So I don't know how deep that league is now.
Yeah, Miami's not ranked.
Boston College, I think, got in this week.
They did.
But they've been a fringe team.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you. We'll take a break, come back. Let's talk. We're here to do that on the On Deck Show. You're listening on WRUF.
Your home for the Tampa Bay Rays is WRUF.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
It's first pitch time, Alachua County. The field is set, the crowd is buzzing, and baseball season is in full swing. From clutch hits and game-saving catches, baseball brings the passion, teamwork, and pride that unite our community. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, Coke Florida, your local Coca-Cola bottler, is proud to support the moments that bring Alachua County together. Brought to you by Coke Florida, refreshing Florida fans. Here's to a winning season, on and off the field.
Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the Swamp, the closest hotel to UF. With 6 stylish floors of brand new everything, we've been completely renovated and fully remodeled for your comfort. Enjoy the best guest services in town, competitive rates, and a location you just can't beat. And don't forget about our rooftop pool. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Visit us online today for details and booking.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Craving bold, authentic Cuban flavor? Head to Miapa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings the taste of Cuba straight to your table. From iconic Cuban sandwiches and fresh flaky empanadas to rich café con leche and perfectly sweet plantains. Every dish is made fresh daily for a true Latin experience. Proudly serving the community for over 23 years. And a proud supporter of the Florida Gators, Miapa now features 6 convenient locations ready to welcome you. Dine-in, drive-through to-go, or catering, Miapa is your choice for crowd-pleasing Cuban favorites. Miapa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
You're listening to On Deck with Steve Russell and Jeff Cardozo right here on WRUF.
International Diamond Center carries an exceptional assortment of designer engagement rings, wedding bands, luxury watches, and fine jewelry with locations across Florida right here in Celebration Point in the heart of Gator Nation.
All right, we welcome you back. We want to hear from you. 392-8255. You can email the show, srussell@wruf.com. Jeff and I were just talking about this, Robert, in your email. Was McDonald injured early in the year? If he wasn't injured, why so late starting? Asked Jeff if Caden might be inserted as a starter.
Yeah, I don't know why people keep like the other guys are better. Like it's plain and simple. He's obviously doing some really good things right now, and we're happy. And you got to ride it and enjoy it. But I mean, if you look at just the way coming out of the fall and into the spring, and listen, he's recovered from Tommy John, and sometimes it takes some time to get to there. But he wasn't really overwhelming last year when he was out there. I mean, it was a guy that always threw a lot of strikes, but there's nothing special to his stuff. He's just done a better job. And if Barberi doesn't get hurt, if McNeely doesn't get hurt, you probably even don't see McDonald because, frankly, those guys are better than Caden McDonald. Now, they don't always go out there and perform that way, but Barberi certainly has this year. And I just think those injuries have now helped open things up for Caden McDonald a little bit, and it's great. And you take advantage of your opportunities to go out and try to be successful. It's only going to help Florida now moving forward.
No question. Yeah, I guess I'm going to use I can't think of a better word. Instead of complaining about why he wasn't used earlier, be happy he is being used now and be happy he's pitching well.
That he's actually doing good.
Yeah. Okay, YouTube question from Jacob. Watching McDonald yesterday reminded me of some ace LSU pitchers of the recent past. Okay. JDK, does Liam's arm slot enable hitters to see his ball easier than King's?
No, I just think everybody now, and it's the same, I've had this discussion with my son. Like if you watched Kentucky's pitcher Saturday, Jelkin, the guy's 93, maybe max, 94, and the ball's just moving all over the place. I mean, there's two seamers dipping in under the hands of right-handed hitters, and then coming out of the same arm slot, it's about the tunneling and making everything look the same, and then the breaking ball's going away from him on the other side of the plate, and the Gator hitters were just completely confused. They had the right approach to say, okay, he's really, really good, so we need to take one pitch away. So the mindset was we've got to attack the fastballs. They just didn't recognize the fastballs. So I think that was part of it. And Liam just throws a four-seamer, so the ball doesn't move as much, and you can hit 98 because now you're practicing that. Like every one of these teams have pitching machines that basically mirror what the opposing starting pitching is going to give you. So they're there before the game, working out during the week that, hey, here's Liam Peterson's fastball, here's the spin rate of it, and they're going out and trying to hit it. So they don't have any problem timing up 98, 99 anymore, and you have to be able to move the baseball. And right now Liam's not doing that, and he's missing up on a lot of pitches, not just the fastball, it's the breaking ball, it's other things. Hitters are really good, and I just don't know if Liam has good enough stuff, swing and miss when he's facing a really good lineup just because of the fact that he doesn't have a fastball that moves that much. And King does.
Yep. Woody, any news on Kyle Jones? Who's your starting right fielder when Jones comes back?
I think still Strayer. I think Yost is still just really up and down, but at least you now have the opportunity to bring him in a pinch hitting role where there's some confidence, or they can analyze that. But I still think you go back to Strayer when it's all said and done, because even Yost hitting the homer yesterday, which is obviously big. I mean, he had the day of the 2 in Oklahoma, but then after the week he had against Florida State and Georgia where he hit the 3 homers, he went like 3 straight weeks with not even getting a hit.
Nothing, yeah.
So he was like 3 for his last 28 or something, and then hit the homer. So it looks good from that aspect, but he was better this weekend. I just think Strayer is the guy. It looks better and cleaner. Although Yost is a better defender. Honestly, I wish Yost was playing center over Jones.
Yeah, he looked pretty good there.
Yeah, and I mean he just gets to balls that I don't think Jones gets to, and Jones is going to be fine. Just a little turf toe that got aggravated over the last couple of days, so they expect him to play in Baton Rouge.
All right, let's get a phone call here. Keith, welcome.
Hey, guys, you just stole my thunder, Jeff, on Yost and Strayer. I agree with that, but it sure is nice to have a guy like Yost on the bench.
No doubt.
Yeah, and then another comment, too. I know it's been talked about a lot, but what do you say about Cade McDonald? I mean, my goodness. I mean, he went 4 1/3, no runs, no hits, 6 strikeouts, no walks, and the only base runner that reached was on an error.
Yep.
I mean, that's hard to make that kind of stuff up. So really, really happy for him. A quick comment on the softball team. Congrats to being another national seed. I think they've hosted now 19. Does that sound right? Out of 21 years that Walton's been here. Just major congrats. I will say I do have my one concern with the softball team. I just looked it up before I called you. Last 4 games, they've given up 37 runs. So I'll listen to your comments off the air. Good show, guys. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Yeah,
Thanks,
10,
Steve.
9, 9, and 9, last 4 games. But against SEC competition. I don't think – now, again, we'll see. I mean, it can happen in the regional, but I don't see those caliber teams here.
Yeah, I mean, and we can do our softball review now as we sit here and talk about it. The issue is the Super. Like, I think they had the toughest draw out of probably anybody, like having to now face Texas Tech, because we know what's at Texas Tech, and the Gators saw that pitcher 3 years ago, and that's the $1 million arm that they paid for, and obviously they throw it really, really well. I think hopefully the Gator offense luckily is better than the Gator pitching, so they can hopefully score some runs. But yeah, it's a really tough ask, because I mean Texas Tech is obviously a team that is the best team that money can buy in softball. They've invested probably more than anybody in the entire country.
Get them here, though.
In that program. Yeah, you'd get them here, but it's still some really good players you got to deal with.
And our softball review brought to you by International Gold and Diamond Exchange. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, trade, or repair luxury timepieces, the process begins with an honest evaluation and clear offer. International Gold and Diamond Center, luxury is done easy. And how about the SEC again in softball, Jeff? It's just, South Carolina, I think, was 30-26, and they got to a regional.
Yeah.
Strength of schedule, playing in the SEC helps.
And Auburn would have gotten in,
just
because of that alone, but they didn't finish 500, so they weren't able to do that because the Gators, ended their season. So, yeah, listen, I think it's going to be the same way when it comes to baseball. There was a lot of conversation last year about why so many SEC teams got in, but when it's all said and done, if the evaluator's RPI and strength of schedule, these guys just beat up on each other year in and year out, and that's just how difficult it is. So there's a reason why. Like I don't know, I guess it would be because Auburn should host Ole Miss, but I mean, if there's like a tough 2 seed from an SEC school, like I'd be scared if I was a 1 seed, having to face a team even right in the middle of the pack. Like imagine if, Florida somehow pooped the bed these last few weeks and they were a 2 seed going somewhere for a regional. Like, would you want to face Florida?
No.
Hell no, you would not.
No.
So, I think that's why they get in. They're constantly beating up on each other, and it's really, really hard to do. I mean, even this Kentucky team, I mean, they'll be a 2, maybe a 3 seed. And like imagine Kentucky is a 3 seed in a regional somewhere with that offense. And I mean, Jelkin's one of the best pitchers in the country. So if you somehow win that first game, and I doubt you would save Jelkin, though. You'd probably you need to win that first game. But, I mean, there's a lot of scary teams that are certainly going to be trouble.
And think about this. At LSU, a team that nobody talked about in the SEC, they're a 16 seed. They're hosting a regional.
Mm-hmm.
And Beth's team finished, middle of the pack, maybe a little lower in the SEC, but they're hosting because of their strength of schedule. Player of the Week brought to you by Holiday Inn University Center. If you're looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville, Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center, steps from the swamp, the closest hotel to UF. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Player of the Week.
It's going to go to a guy from UCLA, and UCLA really was in trouble for the first time all year. Oregon even up the series. They won the second game of the series, so UCLA had that was the first time they had lost in conference, and they were in jeopardy of now losing a series for the first time all year. And they've got a leadoff dude, name is Dean West. He not only robbed a potential Oregon grand slam in the final game, he then, in the 8th inning, hit a grand slam to help him win 9-6. So with his defense and his offense, both on grand slams, which is kind of incredible. So that grand slam helped UCLA win, and they ended up beating Oregon 2 out of 3. But, yeah, give credit to Mark Wasikowski, of course. The old Gator is the coach at Oregon. They're having a nice year too. And, I mean, they were up 6-1, ended up blowing that game. But UCLA just continues to roll. I'm just anxious, to see because, I mean, they could have the greatest regular season in the history of college baseball with what they're doing. Does that mean that they're going to be the huge favorite to win it all? Or, what's going to happen when they get into a regional or super regional or a College World Series? You just don't know with the competition.
You don't. And you could lose 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
You could lose 10-9. I mean, that's why you go play. It's time for our 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Miapa Latin Cafe, proud to sponsor Gator Athletics at all Gator baseball home games. When the Gators win, you win a free cup of Cuban coffee from any Miapa location. Just show your ticket at Miapa Latin Cafe. Email here. What do players do when there's a 3 or a 5 hour rain delay?
Well, back in the day when we didn't have a cool clubhouse and different things to do, now it's easy. I mean, you go in and you play pool and you play ping pong, or you get on your phone and you watch a movie or do something.
Sleep.
Yeah, they've got a clubhouse that's got, televisions that are big and all these things happening. I just feel bad for the road team because they don't really have any of that. The road team just goes and sits in the pitching lab down there and kind of goofs off. That's probably what they're doing. They're sitting on their phones talking or watching TikTok, learning some Tai Chi walking to get fit, all that kind of stuff. I don't know.
BB, what do you see as the Gators' main weakness at this point? How comfortable are you with the current third base play?
I mean, defense and offense are still weak, but luckily the offense is surging a little bit over these last couple of weeks. I mean, certainly the ability to score runs at Oklahoma and then now do it against Kentucky when you needed to is positive signs. Lawson actually played pretty good defense at short too, so I think the sickness was probably affecting him at short as well, not only swinging at the plate. So I think that's gotten a little bit better, but there's still no guys to me that are above average defenders. And like we just talked about with Jones, like Yost playing center these last couple of games, I was like, sweet. I mean, that's what it's supposed to look like. He would run down balls in the gap and easy jumps where sometimes it's a struggle to see Jones like get to a ball or do different things. So I would say the weakest part is probably the defense. I feel like it has the potential to cost a game. And even if it does show up as an error in the scorebook, like it might be a ball that Lawson doesn't get to up the middle or something where other shortstops would, or a ball that falls in front of Jones that other center fielders might be able to get, things like that where it could cost the Gators a game.
This is a tricky one because there's a lot to it. What's the best case scenario to get a regional here? How many remaining games do our guys need to win? Are there some key teams that might need to lose?
No, I think Florida is probably, I wouldn't say locked right now, but even if they win one, that's 16 conference wins with the strength of schedule they have and the RPI.
Yep.
It's going to put them easily within that. And I think if you win 2, it's locked no matter what. And then 3, I still don't know if it's good enough. But then if Florida goes on a little run in Hoover, and now all of a sudden you're 18-12 in the conference, and then you win, you get to the semifinals or something at Hoover, then you got to be thinking, okay, well maybe this Gator team's legit. They're hot at the right time, and you got to evaluate that to be a top 8 national seed.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I don't know that I would consider Florida to be a team that would host a regional and a super, but they would have to just tank to not host at this point. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Want to hear from you. Got a baseball question, got an MLB question. Yes, the Mets are bad. You're listening to Sports Scene on listening to the On Deck Show on WRUF.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
It's never fun being injured, and with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news, you don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away, and they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable. And when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
When you buy real wood furniture, you're saving money because you're buying furniture that lasts generations. Now, save 20% more May 16th through the 25th. Wood U Furniture in Gainesville is celebrating 41 years by offering 20% off store-wide. Shop their huge showroom and customize a piece to fit your style. It's Wood U Furniture's 20% off anniversary sale May 16th through the 25th. Visit them on Main Street or online at woodugainesville.com.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Scattered rain showers will decrease in coverage and intensity once the sun sets, but we have more rain in the forecast for tomorrow. I'm expecting at least 60% of the area to pick up on rainfall on Tuesday, and then we will see a pattern change. Highs tomorrow will only reach the mid-80s, with upper 80s in the forecast on Wednesday and 90s returning by the end of the work week. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Andrew Wolfak.
On Deck continues right here on WRUF, your home for Gator sports.
International Diamond Center, the only official jeweler of the Gators. You can shop exclusive, officially licensed Gator jewelry, from rings and bracelets to watches and Hall of Fame pieces. Featuring Jenny's Gems with Coach Jenny Rowland. Visit the International Diamond Center in Celebration Point or online and show your Gator pride and style.
All right, welcome back to our final segment here. Let's get Dean to talk to us. Dean, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'd like to make a comment and ask you a question.
Sure.
He's a Detroit Tiger fan, though, and just seems like they've been beset with the injury bug, leading with Terry Skubal and other position players, and Casey Mize as well. Do you think they can turn it around this early into the season, though, and get these guys back from injury? And the other comment that I'd like to make was just watching the Tigers quite a bit. I've been watching them play Kansas City, though, and I've watched former Gator Jack Caglione.
Yeah.
And I guess apparently Jonathan Indian has been out with some shoulder injuries, so he hasn't been in the lineup. But I just want to make that comment.
Yeah, I actually watched the game yesterday, and I saw Cags hit the double out to left center and then fly out to center the next at bat. Yeah, the Tigers are interesting. Obviously, when you lose the best pitcher in baseball, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I mean, I know, Gleyber Torres is on the team. I don't know how good that he's been doing. I really like Torkelson. I mean, he hits bombs. He's not hitting a lick. And then, of course, Riley Green, he was a Gator signee. That would have been awesome if we would have gotten to see him. But, he was taken in the first round, and he's obviously got some talent. And then McGonigal they brought up to play short. That's a kid out of West Virginia. So, they got some dudes on that team. But, yeah, if you can't pitch, then you might have some problems. And, Torkelson was the number 1 overall pick back in the day, too. So it'll be interesting. The division's not the best, so you'll be able to compete.
That's my thing right there, Dean. If I'm hopeful, it's because that division is not, to this point, 40 games into the season, very good. You're 3 games under 500. You're a game and a half out of first place. You're within striking distance.
Yeah, they're projecting Skubal to be out 3 months from what I've read. So that's August 1st, so just in time for the pennant race. And I guess Casey Mize is supposed to be back sooner than later. So hopefully it gets in. And then they got Verlander, though, doing some rehab stuff. So hopefully they can piece things together between now and, dog days of summer, though, when the pennant race heats up.
All right. Appreciate you, Dean. Thank you for your call. Let's do our Game of the Week, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Quality Plumbers, Gainesville's trusted for over 40 years. Quality Plumbing, their name says it all. Maybe, Jeff, we need to look at Florida LSU because it's coming down to that.
Yeah, you just take care of business, and it's an LSU team that can't pitch, so hopefully Florida can score some runs. But, there was somebody that asked earlier what needs to happen for the Gators to, kind of maybe move up or at least in the standings. And there's a couple of interesting matchups this weekend. Ole Miss is at Alabama, and Mississippi State is at Texas A&M. So when you look at both of those, it's really just going to come down to now what you want to happen. So let's just say Alabama. They're 1 game ahead of the Gators right now. Obviously, they have the tiebreaker. So it's almost like you would rather them beat Ole Miss because Ole Miss right now is a game below Florida, and then that would just kind of push them out of the way. And then when you look at the other matchup there, Mississippi State, Texas A&M, the Gators didn't play Mississippi State. Mississippi State's got the same record right now at 15-12. A&M's at 16-10. So it's almost like you want A&M to win, push Mississippi State down, and then that would guarantee you the Gators maybe finish 5th or 6th in the league. They get that bye, don't play till Wednesday. So I guess if you're rooting for other teams this weekend, you're looking at schedules and games of the week, root for Texas A&M and root for Alabama, because that means 2 teams would kind of get out of the way of the Gators. And then the interesting 2-1 is Kentucky. They go to Arkansas, or Arkansas goes to Kentucky.
Yeah.
And Arkansas, of course, the same record as the Gators too, but the Gators have the tiebreaker over them. I think you would want Kentucky to win a couple there, push Arkansas down, and then that's going to be another one where the Gators are kind of guaranteed to be in that top 8.
Yeah, a lot of scenarios here last weekend. Best and worst of the week brought to you by Ruse-Ogre State Farm Insurance. State Farm agent Ruse-Ogre, your go-to agent in Gainesville and North Central Florida for the service you deserve at the price you want.
Well, the worst of the week was the damn rain. Sit there and deal with that the whole time. There's all this talk about putting money into the football stadium and making it. Why don't you just build a dome for baseball?
There you go.
Then we don't have to deal with that.
The Gator Dome.
Yeah, the Gator Dome.
Right.
Certainly not worth all that money just for a couple of weekends. No, it's just but I get the good part about the rain delays is you have the opportunity to then go out into the crowd and talk to some people, and that's always fun, interacting with the fans and seeing people that get to go to all the games and the diehards and the different things. So I guess it was for both because I would also say that Friday night game, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, there was a bunch of people still there at 1 in the morning on Friday night. So kudos to the people that did stay. There was a couple of pictures that were taken where there was just one dude just sitting out in the rain by himself, just like waiting for the game to start. So that's a diehard right there. Give him some props. So
Yeah.
good and bad.
Yeah, I think fans deserve a lot of props for sitting through that too. All right, we kind of did this a little bit, but we'll finish up with our next game preview brought to you by Atlantic Roofing. Personal and commercial roofing expects quality, durability, excellence, and integrity. With over 50 years of experience, Atlantic Roofing brings the trusted expertise to your project. The thing, Jeff, do you think, God forbid this happens, but let me just throw it out there. If LSU were to somehow sweep Florida, that would give them, 12 league wins, right?
Yep.
Do you think if they, with those 12 wins, win a couple of games in the SEC tournament, would they sneak into a regional?
I doubt it.
Okay.
I don't see how not winning the tournament they can get in.
Okay.
I mean, it's just been that bad all year because even at 12, nobody's ever made it with 12 SEC wins. 13 is the lowest number where
Correct.
somebody's gotten in. So I think getting swept like that, and it just pretty much destroyed it. So now it's anxious to see how they're going to play it. Obviously you still want to throw your guys a little bit, but their pitching's been so bad. Do you try to run out some other guys and see what happens just this weekend to see then maybe, okay, I can use them in Hoover? I would probably do the same exact thing. If you've had a long sample size of sucking going on, so you might as well try something different.
I wasn't going to quite put it that way, but that's my point, Jeff, that if 12 wins is not going to get, even though they're LSU, right? I don't think that gets them in. The only way they can possibly make it is by winning the SEC tournament. So if I'm the LSU staff, I'm gearing my pitching to the tournament.
Yeah.
And if I lose to Florida, so what? So it is going to be interesting to see what they do, how they approach that. You might give them an inning or two, but you got to gear that up because that's your only chance, in my opinion.
Yeah, and they spent a lot of money on pitching too, and it just hasn't been good. They're dead last, behind Missouri.
Yes.
In earned run average.
Over 5.
Yep.
All right, we're going to get David quickly here. David, hello.
Good. I'll go quick, Steve. Couple questions. First, we need to improve some kind of messaging system when we're in a rain delay. If you're watching the game on one of the ESPNs, it doesn't tell you anything. Just puts you in a stand mode. If you go to your station, you get nothing. They go back to a feed at the station. They don't tell you any updates. And there should be, and if you go to the website, the baseball website, there's nothing there either. So you don't know how long it should be. So you got to keep checking the TV or whatever. You go to Radar and you try and read and figure it out. That's my suggestion, to try and figure something out, some notification system we could sign up for, or y'all change the website at WRF or something like that, or get the control person to announce it every few minutes. That's one thing. The other question I have is who's got the strongest arms from the outfield on our team and maybe around the conference? We're starting to get a little better there at throwing toward in, but it just seems like if you're on first, you're going to third with a hit almost every time. And those used to be with strong arms, throws to get guys out.
Yeah, I think the best on our team is Sear, but I think they like him in left better than right, but he has played right when Kendall's playing because Kendall's not as good out there. So I would say Sear by far has the best arm, and then probably in the country, or at least in the SEC from the guys that I've seen, is the guy from Texas A&M.
Yeah, he's
done. Yeah, he's legit.
The right fielder.
Yep, there's a few of them, but yeah, you're right. And Belmonte and I were actually talking about this during one of the TV broadcasts. We hadn't had an outfield assist all year for the first 2 months.
I agree.
So yeah, there's not a lot of people that are thrown out anymore.
Yeah, it used to be that, man, we had some guns. I guess finally, and I know you got to go here, is concessions. What can we do to improve concessions at the stadium as far as pricing? There's a lot of trucks and all that kind of stuff, but it's ridiculous. It's worse than Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, they understand it, David, and I think next year you'll see some changes. That's at least kind of the thoughts that are some of the rumblings that I'm hearing.
Well, I've been strong on this team all year, and they're coming around. I like guys getting.
Okay.
Lost them.
Well, lost them. But that's okay because we're getting near the end anyway. And I do hope there is some alteration, Jeff, in the food, the vending part of it, because it ain't cheap bringing somebody to the ballpark.
No, not at all. I mean, when you're spending $20 for crappy chicken tenders and fries, then it's not. It's not worth it.
All right, that is our On Deck for today. Don't forget, a reminder about softball, however. It begins Friday. Coverage of Game 1 between Florida and Florida A&M begins Friday morning at 10:30 in the morning. First pitch at 11 a.m. And then if that were to continue, the regionals, of course, double elimination, and we'll see what happens after that. Don't forget, Jeff and I going to Baton Rouge this week. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. And then we get to go to Hoover, and then we're going to go see that the strike stuff, implemented.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting to see. So we got a lot coming up as the regular season winds down. That is our On Deck for today. Thanks to Giselle for producing it, and thanks for her producing Sports Scene as well. As Kevin and the Sports Lab gang are next, enjoy the rest of your day as you listen on WRUF.
Your home for Gators softball is 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
It's first pitch time, Alachua County. The field is set, the crowd is buzzing, and baseball season is in full swing. From clutch hits and game-saving catches, baseball brings the passion, teamwork, and pride that unite our community. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, Coke Florida, your local Coca-Cola bottler, is proud to support the moments that bring Alachua County together. Brought to you by Coke Florida, refreshing Florida fans. Here's to a winning season, on and off the field.
Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the Swamp, the closest hotel to UF. With 6 stylish floors of brand new everything, we've been completely renovated and fully remodeled for your comfort. Enjoy the best guest services in town, competitive rates, and a location you just can't beat. And don't forget about our rooftop pool. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Visit us online today for details and booking.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry,